Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 in 3D, folks. That's right, in 3D Part 1. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. This is a 2010 release, 2 hour and 26 minute film, 2.4 to 1 aspect ratio, DTS HD sound, English 5.1. Now I'm going to let the sound guys check that out. That's what's on the disc. 7.7 International Movie Database, 77% Rotten Tomatoes, critics approval score, 85% Rotten Tomatoes audience approval score. Directed by David Yates. This is the first Harry Potter film to be produced, or have J.K. Rowling as a producer. Look, I don't know if you've ever been to Orlando, if you've ever been to Universal Studios and seen the I'm going to just say the Harry Potter rides in Harry Potter's world and all the attractions, the train that goes between. I mean, you get on that train, it's just like the trains in the movie. Absolutely stunning. Everything about Harry Potter in Universal Studios is absolutely amazing. You're actually it's just like you're walking into the picture. Incredible, incredible. Words can't describe all the rides and the inside things that you see. And giant. I don't want to ruin the movie. And so that brings me to the movie. Anyway, if you get a chance, go there and see it. Whatever you do, if you're really a Harry Potter fan, you got to get to Orlando, and you got to see the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Now, what about this movie? You know I always talk about the movies. You know I talk about the plot and the characters and everything. Look, if you don't know anything about Harry Potter, I can't talk about it here. I don't know how I escaped for 10 years without finding out how this series ended. I watched the first 2 movies when they came out, and then I didn't watch anymore. Then I went and picked these 3D versions up, and I was going to pop them in. My family said, "Whoa, wait a minute, you can't watch that. You got to watch the rest of the movies." And so I did, and here I am. Now I'm able to watch it because I watched the rest of the movies, and I can't talk about this movie. I can't tell you anything about this movie because it'll ruin it. I mean, you got young kids coming up now that are coming up in the series. They're not here yet. You got adults like me that never made it to this movie yet. I can't talk about anything about this movie. It's just the way it is. You should know the stars by now. You should know the premise. I will say this, as each movie progresses, the story gets serious. It gets serious, it gets dark. Which now I'm going to talk about the movie's 3D. I'm going to talk about the 3D, folks. Disappointment. Now, I heard this was filmed like real 3D, they call this, where they wasn't going to be any pop-outs or anything. It was like real 3D looking in a window. Does that work here? Now, I did some research on real 3D, and it's a theater type circular polarized screen, and how that converted to this DLP, it just didn't go so well. First of all, just the transfer is dark alone. The transfer is very dark. Not only is it a dark movie, not only is the colors mainly blue and dark and black and things like that, but the transfer to 3D, and they did it before. This happened before. Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey, that was a dark transfer. There are several dark transfers. It just was a bad transfer. Now, how about the 3D? 0 pop-outs, no pop-outs, no really parallax. You will get some depths at times, and you'll get some decent depths. You turn your glasses on and off, and yes, it's in 3D. As always, I would rather watch any movie in 3D, even though this is dark, even though there's not much here on the 3D. I still would rather watch this in 3D. But I'm telling you now, 3D or 2D, it's up to you. The 2D is going to be brighter on this part 1. I'm going to watch part 2, and then I'm going to talk about part 2. Actually, I'll be honest with you, I've already watched it, and I had to because I'm afraid the comments below would ruin for me what would happen in part 2. So I have watched it, but I'm not going to talk about it here. But so that's it on the 3D. It's very dark, not much there. It did not transfer very well at all. I don't recommend you run out and buy this in 3D, but if you want to own it for your collection, that's up to you. I'll talk about part 2 though when I finish with this. Okay, so as far as Harry Potter movies go, what can you say? They just keep getting better. Yes, they get more serious, but they just keep getting better. The movie itself is a 5.0. And I'm going to tell you now, Harry Potter movies are all 5.0 in my book. The 3D here is a 2.0. It's 2.0 on this particular part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. I have higher hopes. Okay, now I did say after the 7th I was going to have a drawing for the Doctor Strange 3D giveaway, and I have a box here. I said it was going to be a hat, but I do have a box with some names in it, and so I'm just going to march it up, mix it up, pull a name out, and the winner of the Doctor Strange 3D Blu-ray giveaway is Gallagher First Defender. Gallagher First Defender, you're the winner of the 3D Blu-ray giveaway. I'm going to put a link below or email that you can get a hold of me, and get a hold of me, send me your information, and I'll get that out in the mail to you right away. And I may be having another 3D Blu-ray come in September. Okay, so what did you think about part 1? Okay, did you see it? Did you see it in 3D? Did you see it in 2D? Did you see it in the theaters in 3D? Now, if you did, there's even some controversy about that. They put out a note that on October 10th of 2010, they canceled the 3D showing because they couldn't have it ready in time and it wasn't up to the quality that they wanted. Now, I read that. I think it was Wikipedia. Some people said that they saw it in 3D. I don't know if it was later after it was first released or what. So leave some comments on that. Let me know how this fits in with your Harry Potter movies. Don't ruin anything for anybody. Let's just talk about how well you liked it. It's tough to talk about this film. It really is. Because you don't want to ruin it for anybody. Okay, so that's my take on this. Get your information to me. I'll get that DVD out. I want you to have a good night. Stay safe and hang in there. I got part 2 coming real soon. Okay, and as always, God bless.